welcome to Pokemon.
Good old Pokemon. I love this game.
I think
Pokemon Blue, a classic that I've absolutely never played.
for some reason.
You are missing out.
No, actually, not really. After playing through this game is dodgy and bad and slow paced, and I'd much rather play a later Pokemon game. But you know, good starting point for the series.
Well, there's the problem because the games these days are very fast paced, more so than these ones, and you know, yeah, these ones unfortunately are a lot slower now in comparison.
Even compared to Leaf Green and Fire Red, this game is bare bones. Like, at the time, it was the biggest RPG ever made for a handheld. Actually, the biggest game I ever made on a handheld. Like,
Alas, technology marches on.
Yeah.
So, yep, interesting choice for a Let's Play, but whatever.
Well, this is the first game I ever owned, so I had to record at some point. I'm not kidding about that. I was like, maybe 5. Got a Game Boy Color and got this for one of my birthdays. Also got a Donkey Kong hat. I think I still have that somewhere.
Wow. You should be wearing that while we're recording this, by the way.
I can't find it though.
Oh, for shame. What kind of nostalgia trip is this?
A terrible one. Though it does still have the washed out graphics of the Game Boy. Beautiful. Don't worry, that'll change soon.
The hat or the emulator?
So, you should probably... So if you ever try to record something on an emulator, try and work out all the color issues before you start recording. It normally works out a lot better. I didn't realize if I chose the emulator colors, it would just look a whole lot brighter. So yeah. So I'm choosing Bulbasaur for, well, 2 reasons. One, my first game I chose Blastoise, so I can't choose Squirtle again. And 2, I can never choose Charmander again because my actual blue version, which I hopefully still does have a starter, I can pray, has the highest level Pokemon I've ever trained. He's called Boy, he's a Charizard, I love him to pieces. And yeah, I can never make any more memories with Charizard because I don't want to override Boy.
I see.
You can never save over the data in your heart.
I know. And I don't want to try either, so fuck it, we're having Powersaur!
Well, unless you have Pokemon Stadium, you can just transfer your Pokemon over to that.
No, you don't understand.
It's just not the same, man.
For some reason, Game Boy games, when they had to save data, especially like Pokemon stuff, they used batteries to save the data.
Yeah.
Which lasts roughly about 15 years.
Damn. Well, yeah, I understood. I remember hearing about that. Definitely.
So yeah, even if I did have Pokemon Stadium and like some way to trade across, I probably couldn't. Also, the fact it could only go to Stadium and then to 2nd Gen, which had an even shorter lifespan on battery life. So yeah, it's a no-win situation for me.
That's too bad.
Also, first battle of the game, since we should probably talk about something on screen.
Please, for the love of God. Oh my god, you used a potion on the first battle of the game.
I'm sorry! Oh look, they used Growl. Look, I didn't even need the potion. Except for the fact, I miss! I did need the potion in the end. Also, fun fact, I tried to record this one time before, chose Powersaur, got all of that done. I got 2 critical hits against me from that Charmander, and died in 3 turns.
Oh, that's unlucky.
So I start my adventure, choose Bulbasaur for the first time in this game, and get my ass handed to me and robbed. For telling me, fuck you, choose Charmander. So I went to the PC and grabbed the potion out.
Clever.
I'm so glad I've managed to do that this time.
Yeah.
Also,
Squirtle was my first Pokemon ever. I thought it was natural because, you know, Pokemon Blue. Yeah.
Yeah, same, but I overrode that data eventually because I just didn't like Blastoise as much as Charizard, and the fact that I I restart Pokemon games every couple of months or so. It's actually kind of amazing I kept Blue version on its second game.
Really?
Especially more amazing since I had the most ridiculous name. My name was Pokemon. My rival's name was Mon Poke.
What?
That is some Ace Attorney shit right there.
Like, there was the two symbols for, like, Poke and Mon that you can choose when you name yourself. And because my 5-year-old brain didn't know what they were and they looked like cool symbols, I just called myself Pokemon. And I, for some reason, inverted them for my rival because they were my rival. They were the opposite of me. So yeah.
I just named my character Blue and my rival Red. I wasn't very creative with names back then. I'm probably still not these days, to be honest.
What's that? My name is Morph and my rival's name is Jim. Yes, Jim. The epitome of creativity.
Why Jim?
Because ever since I learnt about Hydlide, which is a high fantasy, Zelda-like adventure on the NES. So you imagine, high fantasy, gotta have some weird name. No, the main character, who's this knight in shiny armor, is just called Jim Knight.
Jim Knight.
Real fantasy right there.
Wow.
And so
There are some who call me Jim.
Creativity is out of the ballpark.
Yeah, so every time I can name someone, I'm gonna call one of them Jim.
Fair enough.
Yeah, fair enough.
Let's keep the legacy going on.
You know, you're lucky in this generation that Gus is a normal type attack and not a flying type attack.
Yeah, but I'm also unlucky that Bite is a normal type attack. And Low Kick, for some reason.
Yeah, that's how they were.
Later on, I versed Ghastly. I don't realize Bite isn't doing anything. I just think I miss a lot.
Well, it gives... Actually, would it give you... What's the message? Because I think that some of the messages weren't clear as to what happened.
Oh, what's not clear is... If you miss... Oh look, bright colours. If you miss with a status effect, it says... It didn't affect said Pokemon.
Yeah.
If it doesn't actually work, it says it doesn't affect this Pokemon.
I see. Yeah, makes sense.
Oh, I was meant to cut this battle out. My bad. Please ignore that. I'm cutting out every random battle of a Pokemon we've already seen in that area.
Oh, yeah, right.
And also
and the
later
color
on...
palette changes again.
Yeah. The color palette changes depending on what town you're in. So I knew it was a different town. Because the screen suddenly went piss yellow. Saffron Sea is a great place, I'll tell you what.
No, of course. That place is huge. Ooh,
So, yeah.
moth.
GJ, what was your first experience with Pokemans?
Oh, well, do we want to get technical here, or do you just want the first game that ever owned?
Let's hear both.
Okay. So, unlike some people here, I didn't actually have a handheld console growing up until I was about 12 or so. So, I basically had to play Pokemon Gold, the original Pokemon Gold, on my friend's Game Boy Color. Yeah, and I had to basically do the entire thing in one sitting because I wasn't allowed to save over her data.
And then you beat the Pokemon League and accidentally saved over it, and there was a big shit fight.
Nope. I actually whited out on the last battle of the Elite Four, and I was so pissed I turned off the game, and I lost everything.
Ah, bugger.
Yeah, so that was probably the biggest fail I ever had at Pokemon.
I'm
But
thinking about this. A Game Boy's battery span was only like a decent few hours, but still hours. And Pokemon is like a 40-hour RPG.
Not necessarily. I mean, if you just go straight through it and don't bother really training or capturing Pokemon.
But you need to train Pokemon, especially in this one. There's a massive jump against the Elite Four and Giovanni.
Well, sure, if you do a bit of grinding, but you don't catch any, then yeah, you could probably do it pretty quickly.
man, I don't know how I did it. I remember leaving it off. I remember leaving it on overnight so I could continue playing it in the morning. I took my time with it. I don't understand.
This hurts my brain!
Maybe it was possessed, I don't know. But
I'm really hoping you just only got, like, Buggy or someone, and you just thought, oh, that must be the end of the game.
no, it was the Elite Four. I know what the Elite Four is, even when I was, however old I was at the time.
12?
No, when I turned 12, I got my first Game Boy Advance. So.
Oh.
Yes.
And
that's when I bought Pokemon Emerald.
Good choice.
Thank you.
I can only play Emerald on an emulator. So yeah, I had Blue and Gold, but from there I never really got any other Pokemon game until Pokemon X or Y.
Let's see, I've had Blue, Crystal, Sapphire, Diamond, Heart Gold, and Omega Ruby.
Yeah, I'm more of a Hoenn person myself. I played.
And Fire Red, can't forget Fire Red.
Mm.
We're only missing one from X and Y.
Damn.
Hey, what?
Damn.
Most of them were birthday presents until the DS generation.
No, yeah, I made a big jump from Game Boy, original Game Boy, to 3DS. So yeah, I never got anything in between.
That's wow.
Yeah, I didn't really have many handheld consoles. Just yeah.
I suddenly feel like a freak for having Game Boy Color, then Game Boy SP, then DS, then DS, then DS.
Well, no, not necessarily. I mean, from the original Nintendo, got a Super Nintendo, then a Nintendo 64. I've switched to PS2. I have an Xbox 360 now.
I'm glad no one notices I'm failing at the moment.
You're just trying to distract us with your shiny gadgets.
No. We can still see it. We're still watching. And there's
Chaos Control!
Fast forward.
After this, I normally cut out entering Pokemon centers and Pokemarts. But anytime I think it would be hilarious just to watch me run back because I had my ass handed to me, I just fast forward.
Okay.
Because, well, jump cuts are annoying when I suddenly get full health. So it's fun to see me just run back. But there's no run button.
No. Yeah, that is something annoying in these generations.
Also, something I've noticed after playing this, then going back to, like, say, the Game Boy Advance games. Your walk speed is actually faster in this. And, like, they made your walking speed in the Game Boy Advance games slower. But they made the run button so much faster, and also had bike on select at all times unless you were fishing. So yeah.
Yeah.
Also, this game you can't bind items to the select button, and you have a very limited inventory, which is one pocket.
Yeah.
So yeah. Later on in the playthrough, you'll see me open up the bag so many times. Enter your town, bag, bike. Cycle through town, enter one like the transition places, hop off my bike, walk through, hop out, open bag, hop on bike, cycle through that route.
No, there's the problem. You can have as many of one item as you like, but you can only carry a certain amount of different items.
I can carry 99, or I can carry an extra 98 nuggets, but I can't pick up this one little candy. It'll crush it.
I got 99 objects, but a candy ain't one.
Actually, I think I always have a rare candy on me in this.
That Caterpie looks pissed as hell. Look at him.
He's gonna eat my brain.
Got some magnificent eyebrows.
Also, just some heads up for how I'm gonna actually show battles. From about part 2 onwards, I'm only going to about part 3 or so onwards, I'm only going to show mandatory battles.
Right.
So that guy you can avoid if you just head up, but that requires going through grass. So,
might never avoid a battle.
Yeah, you never avoid battle because they give you the most experience, but you know, just speeds up the recording because, well, let's face it, this part is in fact, like, 26 minutes, was it?
Mm.
And apparently,
Pretty much.
Yeah, about that, yeah. No, this part is very grindy and very slow.
oh yeah, the start of this game is the worst. But once you get up to Lieutenant Surge, the game opens up and becomes probably one of the best maps in the game. Because, okay, first 2 gyms in this, you have a total of about 10 different Pokemon you can get. One of which is strong against Brock, 2 of which are strong against Misty. You're probably not going to know that ahead of time, and you're going to go through hell. It's going to be a lot of grinding, going to be a lot of losses unless you know what you're doing, or you chose Power Sword there.
Yeah,
But then,
first time I played this, I had a lot of trouble with Surge, because I chose Squirtle.
oh, but Surge is when the game gets easy, because once you beat Misty, the rest of the map can be opened up without any more gym badges, except for Koga.
Yeah, but freaking Surge with his Thunderbolts and his Thunder and shit.
Also, there's a cave just off to the right where you can catch Dugtrios. Matter of fact, that's the first encounter I get in that cave when it comes up to that. So yeah.
No, I never used Dugtrio, really, in the original game. I just gave my, Blastoise Earthquake, and then Fissure. Yeah, it solved many things there.
But Blastoise is the slowest member of the starting family. No.
Well, yeah, but if you have him to, like, level 100...
Oh, no. Okay, so this is actually how one-hit KO moves in this game, because I don't use Fissure, so I won't be able to actually talk about this later. They run off your speed. Like, you can be lower than the enemy Pokemon, but if they're, say, using a rock type, Fissure can hit them if you're, like, 50 levels below, as long as you're faster than them.
Oh, is that how this one?
Yeah, it changes in later gens where you have to be a higher level, so it just becomes kind of impractical with that 30% hit chance.
Yeah, I was unsure about that mechanic, because I do know that critical hits also go off speed as well, I think.
And they're so fucking broken!
Yeah, you face the Alakazam in the Elite Four, and he critical hits you each bloody time.
Oh no, it gets even worse if they have a high critical hit chance. Power Sword there later on learns Razor Leaf. I don't think I've ever seen it do normal damage.
Because it keeps freaking critical. Aren't critical hits with those kind of moves like 75% or some shit?
I think it's supposed to be like an extra 30%, but then it goes off your speed, which adds like another 30%, and then it just gets all confuzzled. Though, fun fact about critical hits, they don't run off any of the stat modifiers in the game.
No.
So if you happen to use Amnesia 3 times beforehand, then get a critical hit with Psychic, you're doing less damage.
No, that's true. They do that for the other generations as well.
Oh, no. That's the weird thing. Other generations fix that. You use Amnesia 3 times. Actually, no, probably not. Probably not Amnesia. That increases special defense later on. But if you increase your attack and then you get a critical hit with a physical move, that's going to get the power of your stat up and the critical hit. This is the only game where that happens.
Really?
Because there were a lot of shortcuts making this game, because let's face it, you're feeding 150 different creatures into here with different stat growths and different moves, and you just can't fit that on a Game Boy cartridge.
That's true, but I could have sworn in the second generation that they still had that kind of quote mechanic.
No. Also, second generation, you get an extra stat. It's no more special. It's now special attack and special defense. And that's why Psychic is so broken in this game.
Yeah.
There's a lot of reasons why Psychic is so broken in this game.
Gyarados was really good in this game because he had a high special, so a high attack.
Actually, no. Gyarados has a fairly low special, but a very high attack. That's why Hyper Beam is so powerful. And then when Generation 4 came along, everyone realized Hyper Beam was kind of shit for Gyarados and should teach it Giga Impact. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Who was it? No, I think I was thinking of Mewtwo.
Well, Mewtwo's just been broken since day one.
No, of course. He was my favorite in the first generation. But then I decided to not be cheap and stop using those legendaries.
Yeah, but you caught Mewtwo. It's level 70, so it can already one-shot everything in the game. And you have to beat the game to get it. So there's no point in catching it for the main story.
Well, it's about the bragging rights. People tend to use their Master Ball on Mewtwo. I did my best not to use it.
Yeah, I didn't use my Master Ball on Mewtwo. It was mine on Articuno originally. Fucking love that ass bird.
Zapdos is my favourite.
Yeah, and we'll catch Zapdos later on. Just need to go beat up Koga. Yeah, that Pokemon Center worked really quick.
Yeah, that was a very quick one.
There's Nidorans in that patch of grass up there. Catch one, teach it double kick. There, you've beaten Brock if you have Charmander. Still takes a couple hours of grinding. Because I'm using an emulator, which you should all know by now. Yeah. Anyone that's watching anyway. I kind of used the speed up feature, which kind of set my game time to about 4 hours at this point. Because I didn't realize it set my speed up to several thousand times what it should be. Not just like triple speed.
Really?
Yeah. It's ridiculous. Because Visual Boy, the emulator I use, it always tells you what speed you're going at. Like 100%, 10%. So you know if you should turn down some stuff or stuff like that. It casually just goes from 4 to 5 digits when I hold down spacebar.
Oh.
It's ridiculous. And I love it. It saved me so much time grinding.
No, it would have. That's what I liked about the emulators, the fact you could speed things up.
Yeah.
That's what makes these old games more bearable to play.
Yeah. Except I can't speed it up during the longest battles where I'm using Noddle. It was meant to be Noodle, but I'm a dumb fuck and accidentally put in 2 Ds.
Noddle. Oh, jeez. Well,
I feel bad for Noddle. Everything bad happens to him.
It's all because you named him Noddle.
Oh, that was just the tip of the iceberg. Later on, it learns confusion. I'm thinking, yes, I can finally do something. Next couple battles, I accidentally override with sleep powder.
oh, jeez.
Incredible.
Well, we'll learn Psybeam soon.
No, it does, and don't think it does in this gen.
It doesn't?
Every Pokemon only has about between 5 and 10 moves.
Jeez.
Matter of fact,
that's
when I'm up to with recording, why is there a blank space here? Oh. Weird. Come on, hurry up. So yeah.
Might want to edit this part out.
So, I'm gonna cut a couple seconds.
Quality Let's Play.
I'm sorry.
Jeez, mate. Aren't you trying to be professional here?
Oh, so you guys keep a track of time. Okay, it comes back. Let me just find when it does come back. It comes back at about... Stay up.
Now. It's back.
Oh, well, I don't even... I somehow caught back up with you guys. My bad. I'll probably cut that part out. Or can hear us being confused.
Yeah.
That's how bored I am. Or how lazy I am with editing.
Yeah, lazy.
Still, each Pokemon only has like 5 moves. They learn one, and between 5 and 10 moves. And in fact, when later on, when I catch myself, because I'm a slight narcissist about that, at about say part 8, I've learned every good move I can at that point. I have like 2 left that do absolutely nothing. And they're not even that good of moves. So I have hit my peak, and it's all downhill for me.
Well, there's the thing. I would normally say you should just use TMs, but in this generation and many other generations after, TMs are single use.
What's that? Got to get to Generation 5, so we don't waste Earthquake on, say, a Diglett.
Yeah.
Been there, done that.
Or you could use the what's that trick on Cinnabar Island? The
Signo?
Yeah, the item glitch where you can just get a shitload of TMs and such.
I'm probably going to show that off at the very end of this, because I also have another glitch I want to show off with that. And it's great. I think it works anyway. It might not, and it'll just be anticlimactic. But still, I'll show that when it pops up.
Butterfree!
Noodle has become majestic.
And didn't actually learn Confusion yet. Turns out learns on level 12 in this version. I think that was fixed in yellow. But because I went for nostalgia, and because the fact everyone else plays yellow, I don't get that luxury. I have to suffer.
They're doing it for the art, Brad.
Yes, the art. Definitely not nostalgia.
Did you ever face the rival down?
No, I did not. I completely forgot about him.
Oh, I see.
Oh, I did say I was carrying out Pokemon Sans, but I might as well show off the box. Someone's PC, you can store your Pokemans in, so you don't have to just use 6 throughout your whole adventure. And
Of course.
Whatever your name is, PC, you can store items somehow.
Yeah, it's pretty redundant though now, since in the current generation it seems you can hold unlimited bloody
You
items.
don't understand how useful it is in this one. You only have 20 spots in your inventory.
No, I know how useful it is.
Strategic, man.
20 spots! And key items count as spots! And god damn it, it takes so long.
The mark of a broken man.
I only accidentally got through, I think it was Team Rocket headquarters, because I accidentally used, like, a HP up on myself earlier. If I didn't do that, I wouldn't have gotten the Slip Scope. Oh yeah, part's over. Well,
Yeah. Yeah, you noticed, right?
yeah. I think
Honestly, no, I didn't.
good to know you're paying attention.
Yeah, I'm actually drawing while this is going on.
Yay! So that's why you're awfully quiet.
That, and also because I don't have a lot to say about the technical aspects of Pokemon, because that's just not my area of expertise.
Damn it, CJ.
Luckily, we have that covered.
Yeah. Well, see you next time.